probably what I didn't do last time.
Hello, the world. Your ears are tuned into the frequency of the Man Sharpens Man podcast, hosted by Stateraised and myself, Dave. This is episode 10. It's a beautiful Thursday. Today's Thursday. Thursday morning. We're sitting and we're gazing upon the beautiful woods, the trees. They've been talking to us all night. We have many great things to report for you. Hey, Stateraised, say hey.
Hello, welcome back. Number 10?
Number 10.
Made it 10. I never thought I would make it to 10 when I started doing this, really. I didn't think I wouldn't, but I didn't even contemplate it. But making it to 10, I'm happy.
We have a couple...
That's like an accomplishment. I was adding up the time yesterday, Dave. We got like fucking 4 hours of this shit.
4 hours, yeah.
Yeah, 4.5, 5 hours of this shit. Something like that. I added it up pretty close, and I was like, that is a lot of time.
Only 9,996 more hours of it before we're professional.
Yeah, well, we almost have worked one whole day is what I was thinking. Like, we've almost put in 1 day of work at this.
Listening in, sitting around the table, we have Chris and Calvin. Say hello, you two.
Hello, you two.
Exactly. They follow orders. They're good. I got them trained. They're not going to interrupt much, but they might blurt in. You might hear them fart or laugh. What do we're recording this on Thursday morning before I go to Grand Rapids, before I move to Grand Rapids to start my
Yep,
new life.
Dave is moving to Grand Rapids, and this is the 10th episode of Man Sharpens Man, and it's the goodbye morning episode to Dave. We're saying goodbye. Hasta la vista, baby boy.
I just realized it's afternoon and it's not really morning.
But if you get fucked up in Grand Rapids, Dave, by one of those fucking muggers I keep warning you about, they have special shit now. They have stem cells you can eat, and you can be like this quad dude that we're going to talk about. Our first story.
A quadriplegic
fella.
He got stem cells injected in him. You know, the things that George Bush hated, that thought was just like dead babies just scraped up.
I did not know that was his opinion on them. That is kind of what it is.
Yeah, it is kind of dead babies, but...
Motherfucking girls are eating their placentas now. Look, real quick, we're at 2:30 in this recording. I'm lighting a doob that I just rolled, Dave. I'm going to tell our listeners, I am the best fucking joint roller. From years of selling what's known as quarter packs in the joint, where I would sit and for fucking billions of hours, I would roll up cigarettes, and then I'd sling them, quarter pack at a time. You know how you sell a quarter pack, Dave? You take a kitchen glove. It's got 5 fingers. You ignore the thumb, but you roll up 5 cigarettes, put 5 cigarettes in the finger, pull it till the plastic stretches a little bit, rip it, tie a little knot in it. That's a quarter pack. And you can get 4 out of every kitchen glove. So you steal some kitchen gloves, put cigarettes in them.
The thumb is not used. The thumb's not big enough.
What you actually see, the thumb, you take your game to the next level. I'll sharpen you all the way up, Dave. You save the thumbs up because you sell quarter shots of coffee also. And the fingers work for quarter shots of coffee, and so does the thumb. Because you put 2 teaspoons of coffee in a finger and tie that in a knot, and that's a quarter shot of coffee. See, someone in prison, if they're having a bad day, they can come to my little store. They could buy a quarter shot of coffee and a quarter shot of cigarettes. 50 cents, boom, automatic, right day.
A quarter shot of coffee, so that would that be like instant coffee?
It'd be instant coffee.
Instant, like a thumb's worth, a thumb glove.
Yeah, a plastic kitchen glove full of
instant coffee.
Yeah, and that would be a quarter shot of mud for them. They could just tear that open, just good to go, like a little MRE, MCD, that'd be meals, coffee to drink.
MRE, a prison MRE.
Exactly. And then they would do the cigarette thing too. But let's get back to I'm getting sidetracked like I always do, but I don't care.
So George Bush hates stem cells.
But he loves my quarter packs.
He loves painting retarded paintings. That's what he loves doing.
Nigga, I used to sell quarter packs to George Bush back in the day. No, but the stem cell thing, Dave, I'm excited about that. That's the beginning of us being able to live forever.
Yeah, because they injected the stem cells in this quadriplegic 21-year-old feller.
And now he can use his arms.
After 2 months of having the dead babies floating around inside of him.
I'm such a cynic, though. If I was paralyzed like that and they got my arms to work, I'd be like, good job, assholes. My penis is still flaccid down there.
You gotta start somewhere. You gotta start somewhere.
I would focus on the most important part. It's like fucking inject my dick with those stem cells and get the thing working. I don't want to be... What's my arms working? Now I can jerk off a limp dick. I'm pissed off. I feel like the guy is not as happy. He's probably kind of happy. Having your arms back would be cool.
I mean, not
Let's
being able
focus
to.
on our attention and where I,
I mean, not
want
being
it.
able to use any of your appendages and then suddenly having some use of your appendages
In
is
my
a wonderful
mind, I
thing.
have 5.
As a person who
Oh yeah, you do have a basis of knowledge. See, I have
do.
nowhere to go with.
I've broke both of my legs at once, and I broke like 10 of my dozen ribs at like the same time. So I mean, it's you know, any progress is awesome.
Damn, hell yeah, it is, I guess. But I guess I'm a cynic. That's who I am. I would be like, hey, Doc, I know you want to get my legs and arms working, but let's focus on the dick first because I'm pretty sad that my dick isn't working right now. But getting some arm uses, that's pretty big. And he knows he's got more coming probably. He's like, hey, if they fix the arms, they're going to keep going. That is amazing that they finally did it. They're making leaps and bounds. They're making leaps and leaps and bounds. You know another way that paralyzed people are becoming unparalyzed nowadays, though? That
VR?
VR, exactly. That is a way that I feel like paralyzed people can get out and experience the world. But this is way better. This is way, way super better. So I'm glad they got that. That's way better. They should put more attention into this kind of shit. I'm lighting it. God damn. They should put more. Just calm down. Trying to get me to light the joint, world. If you're wondering why I'm swearing, but they need to calm down on the political crap and focus their energy on this. Everyone's arguing who's going to be president. Everyone should be arguing about this stuff and learning about this stuff. I feel like this is the way of the future, Dave.
Yeah.
We could live forever.
20, yeah.
Would you live forever, Dave, if you could?
No.
It was
I
once
would
said
not.
by someone wiser than me and probably remembered who said it by someone smarter than me. I never can quote people. I can just remember the quote usually. But it was once quoted that death is the
Great
anesthesia.
equalizer.
No, it's the anesthetic for
Life.
for eternity. Because you don't want to live it forever. Like, it would be sucky, basically, is what that means. I think it would suck to live forever. I think you get kind of bored.
Yes, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah.
If the universe is infinite, though, I would travel the universe and, like, trip on different planets and stuff. Because there's, like, some crazy shit going on other planets.
Yeah, all those space drugs. I mean, you've seen Rick and Morty.
Yeah, space drugs. Not to mention, like, shit could be made out of, like, you could have a whole planet made out of, like, drugs. Like, it could be, like, a whole different thing. Drugs. We're just like, hey,
Drug planet.
let's do a bunch of different kind of drugs.
It's called the Jerry Garcia
Can you imagine
planet.
just being able, like, if you're not a physical body, you could go be on the sun. You could just, like, walk around on the sun. That's pretty badass. That's the other kind of shit VR is bringing us. See, I think VR might be in a small way. Like, if it keeps expanding, it could be the way we end up exploring the universe. Is virtually. Like, it's the best shot we got. Like, it sounds weird, and it's, like, pretty hard principle for me to describe. And I ain't got the words for it, but I just feel like VR is the way that we're going to start traveling in the future. And the universe in general. Because traveling the universe is time traveling. Because you can't travel the universe unless you travel. That's what Einstein's shit is about. That theory of relativity. You realize that?
Relatively.
Relatively speaking.
The relatively theory?
That's what that theory is about, man. Did you know that?
Yeah. I did.
He used to sit and, like, daydream and do, like, mental experiments with himself. Where he would, like, travel through space. In his mind. So he was doing virtual reality in his brain before they were even virtual reality. That's how he said he thought of the theory of relativity, is he put himself in a spaceship that was moving faster than the speed of light, and he fucking just thought about what it would be like and what would happen.
You know, Einstein did not fail his math class. Everyone likes to say, oh, you know, Einstein failed math. Maybe you won't be a fuck up in life. No, Einstein didn't fail math.
He didn't fail math? Well, that's pretty crazy. I always heard he failed math, too.
Yeah, it's what they tell you.
Wonder why they started that. Was just some inspirational shit, or was he borderline almost failed? Sometimes stories have a basis in some kind of reality, and sometimes they're utter bullshit.
He came to America. He came to America, and then, American diplomacy kind of hijacked his story and made, like, hey, this guy was kind of a Nazi, and then, we're gonna bring him over here, and but we're totally gonna exploit him and make him the most American thing we can to, be an inspiration onto our citizens, so maybe our citizens will think they will not be a fuck up in the future, maybe. I don't know.
Guess, maybe. It seems like a lot of fucking effort to make a fake story. And, like, who was the guy that decided to pull the trigger on the fake story? Is there, like, a department of, hey, we need to inspire these niggas. Let's generate a fake story department? Like, I don't know. Sometimes them things, like I was just watching Mythbusters last night, Dave, and it made me think about it because they were myth busting. You know, people are always talking about, oh, the gas company and the car companies are in bed together. What does that even mean? Like the gas company is owned by a bitch and the car company is owned by a dude and they fuck each other? Because that'd be the only thing that really made sense. Because otherwise they're not in bed together, or it'd be easy to see they were in bed together. Like you would notice them coming out of the same house once in a while in the morning. Well, Mythbusters basically prove that gas mileage for cars is about as good as it's going to get. Like, there is no special secret fucking bullet like you keep hearing about in the gas company. Like, they always say, like, oh, the gas company bought the patent for that so you would never get it and you'd never be able to get that special motor. Like conspiracy theorists, you'll hear that said amongst them.
I have a friend who, his car runs on hydrogen.
That's what Mythbusters busted that, though. They don't run on hydrogen. That guy's lying to you just to prove his conspiracy theories.
Like, he built his shit, and he made his car, and it runs on hydrogen.
For real, you don't think he's lying to you? It really does?
I don't know.
That's crazy. Sometimes I think people are willing to lie to protect their myths, but maybe that's true. Mythbusters tried to make one that ran on hydrogen and could not get it to pop off.
Yeah, I mean...
But that doesn't mean they're not the authority and everything,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Mythbusters did not write the internet.
They're engineers who have a TV show. You know, you gotta
Are they both
remember,
legitimate engineers? I've always wondered about that. I've always been jealous as fuck
like
of their
plant
job.
engineers.
Isn't their job the best? Don't
Yeah.
you love their job? Wouldn't you love to fucking just have like that
build
kind of
random shit?
Yeah, and they have a budget. They can get whatever they want. Last night they needed one of those things you park the car on to drive it really fast, those rolly wheels, so you can check its mileage, and boom, they just got one. You know how expensive that shit is? I don't, but I know it's expensive.
Yeah, because Googling rolly thing for car wouldn't give me an accurate answer.
Yeah, you got to figure out what it's called or something.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yep. All day. I don't know. Mythbusters.
Yeah, it was a pretty good episode though, but it definitely showed me how, like, maybe that stuff isn't real, but like I said, maybe they're not right either. Mythbusters, they've been wrong. Like, they've done Mythbusters shows about them being wrong. Those are two guys that are very cool with being wrong.
Yeah, they're humans. You know?
Well, they're also scientists. Scientists are usually our most real people. They will admit to fucking up, generally speaking. Now, some scientists won't. It really, I think a lot of time, it depends on how much time people have vested in whatever bullshit they claim. Like, if they have a lot of their life and time vested into some lie, like some Bigfoot people and shit, like, they're just never gonna, no matter what you tell them,
yeah, like
they're
when you
never
talk
gonna
to
back
some
down.
religious people, you know, there's just no leeway on that.
Nope, not if they got a lot of their life vested
know,
in it. Even if they are sure they're wrong. I'm sure there's people that know they're wrong. If they got time invested in the lie, they're fucking over it.
Yeah, because it's not convenient after you've been serving a story for so long.
It's part of the war on
drugs. You don't want to
drugs.
be told you're wrong.
It's my whole point. The war on marijuana.
Scary.
That's the war on marijuana surmised right up.
It's Plato's allegory of the cave in real life. That's what it is. You know.
I don't know what that is, but I will believe you. What is the allegory of the cave? Tell the people that. They don't know what that is.
Everyone knows what, except for you.
You assume everyone knows that. I bet you people do not know that.
I bet you half of this people. Do you?
This is Man Sharpens Man,
Calvin
not
knows
Man.
what allegory of the cave is.
But Calvin is just your buddy who you probably talk to, and like you guys do a lot of weird naked foot stuff together. But what I'm saying is, this is
just because we do weird naked foot stuff together doesn't mean we don't research shit and know shit.
That's what I'm saying. But this is
You can be smart and do weird naked foot shit together.
I know you are. I give you guys credit for that. I'm just saying this is Man Sharpens not Man assumes your listener knows what this allegory of the cave is. There's a lot of people that don't know what that is, Dave.
The allegory of the cave.
Or at least dumb it down for them.
Plato.
Your dumbed down
Plato
version.
was trained by Socrates. Plato trained Aristotle. But the allegory of the cave was a story, a part of one of his books, The Republic, I believe what the book it was from. Republics, I don't know. But anyways, it's a story
Don't
about...
ask me. I'm
it's a story about a cave, and there's people in the cave, and they're chained so they can't get up, and like their neck, so they can only like look straight ahead. They can't really turn their head much, so they're restrained, and behind them there's a wall, and behind the wall there's a fire, and there's like people who like take these like shapes of like animals or whatever, and they'll like move it across so it projects onto the wall of
So
the
it's the
cave.
only thing these people get to
That's
see.
all they can see. And the idea is that someone, suddenly becomes unchained, and they can get up and they can move. And, of course, after not moving for forever, moving hurts. And then you get out of the cave and it's blinding because, you've just been in a cave your whole life. And it's the pursuit of knowledge and, like, going back into the cave, after, because, it's the story is like first you see sunlight, or you can only see shadows, and then you can see like reflections, and you can see the full, overall you can see. The more you look into it, the more you see, the more you're exposed to. And
Let me simplify this further. I gotta break it down. See, we got people
no,
listening.
I got
gotta
one
make
more
sure.
sentence.
Okay, go ahead.
One more sentence.
Then I'm gonna surmise it.
One more sentence that I've said 3 times already. But you go. The idea is after you see everything and you know how much more awesome seeing everything is, you go back down into the cave and you try to bring people out with you, and they think you're crazy, because they're like, "Fuck you, this is real. We see this."
So it's the only thing they understand is what they've been seeing, and they won't believe the person that's seen more, basically.
Yeah.
So to break it down, basically, there once was a caveman named Dave who had a dead hooker in his cave. He said with a grin while wiping his chin, "She's ugly as sin, but think of the money I'll save." I think that's basically a submission of your story. That's it, surmised. No, Dave's not a caveman, but that is a cool story. And I've seen that picture, Dave. When you started telling me that, I know I've seen the drawing of that. I've seen, what was that, the allegory of the cave? I've seen that in drawing form before. So I'm not ignorant to it, apparently. I have seen it, but I didn't know what I was looking at. But I've seen a artist rendering of that, and it was used to describe our current political state, basically. It was some kind of Bill Hillary, fucking Donald Lee bullshit, Trump shit. Did you see that debate? The VP debate? You caught the Fox News highlights of it?
I've been, like I said, I'm moving today, so I've been focusing on my move, and I've been doing a little bit of work. Been helping out some of my grower friends, helping them out in their grow. It's close to harvest time, so I've been doing a lot of that shit lately. But I feel kind of bad saying this, but the grow I was working at, that guy was watching, Fox News was on, and on the TV, it was just, on mute. And I did see the VP debate.
It's like a yin-yang thing. You got such a beautiful thing like a grow going on, and then such a shitty thing like Fox News bumped right into it. It's like a ick and a yuck and a yum and a yuck.
I don't want to discourage any of our listeners, but it's proven that people who watch Fox News, who only get their news from Fox News, are actually more disinformed about shit.
I don't want to disappoint ourselves, but I doubt we have very many Fox News. They're like, oh, we should listen to these two assholes as well.
I don't know. I've hung out with your family. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
Fox News. My family don't watch no Fox News, that's for sure. Shit. Cable. They don't even know what cable is. Cable is the way you get across the river or something to my family. Cable is what you use to keep the antenna for your CB base up. That's what my dad thinks cable is. He needs a bunch of cable to hold his CB base antenna up. You want me to tell you a cool story, Dave? This is how I started knowing. This is kind of a nerdy story, but it's really cool. People always bitch, and you always hear this. You don't use math class, and we were talking about it today. You don't use math class. You don't use math class. The school thing. You do use math class. And when I was a kid, my dad was putting up a CB base antenna once, and he fucking needed to figure out how much wire he needed for this thing. You see what I'm saying? So the base antenna is tall, and he needed to figure out the angle, the piece of wire that comes down to the ground, and he knew how much land he had to work with, and he was trying to figure out how much wire he needed. Him and my uncle were trying to figure this out. I brought him the Pythagorean theorem, and I was like, check this out. Pythagorean theorem. Sure as shit. Worked for them. I mean, they didn't really use it. They used it and roughly went by it. They bought more than they needed just to be safe. But my shit was right in the end, was basically what happened.
Pythagoras was killed for that theorem.
Damn, son. And it's it's math. That's all it is. And it's dead on. Have you ever seen it, like, redrawn? Have you seen a drawing of the, like I was saying, I just seen the drawing of the cave thing. I've seen a drawing of the Pythagoras theorem. They take a right triangle, and then on each side of the triangle, they draw a square off the side of it that has the same size as that line. And then they take and flip the thing around and show you how two of the squares, equal, squared equals the fucking other square. I mean, it's hard to describe the visualization of the fucking Pythagorean theorem, but that's what it is.
I've went to community college. I'm sure I've seen it at some point in my
Stalking
life.
young bitches at the community college doesn't teach you math, Dave. I'm trying to make sure
But
someone sees you smoking a bowl in your new
college
hipster
math-
hat at the community college.
But failing community college math a couple times, you see some shit.
Fail is first attempt in learning. Remember that. That's what I was just trying to tell you.
I had a first and second and third
First
attempt
attempt
at learning.
at
That's all
learning.
I'm saying.
Yeah, well, you should have quit trying to take pictures up her skirt.
That's
with your
why I
cell
quit
phone.
college.
That's why you were putting a restraining order from the college, probably.
Just walking into the podcast, all the way from the Thing podcast, very popular on the iTunes machine, co-host Matthew Zarelli.
What's up, y'all?
Matthew Zarelli is a local stand-up comedian in the Traverse City area. He's the shit. He's the phoenix. Phoenix rises from the ashes. Matthew Zarelli is the shit phoenix of comedy. He keeps climbing out of that pile of shit and keeps getting on stage and
Finding new piles of shit.
yeah.
It's like a dung beetle rising from the turd. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
He's also he's very importantly, Dave, he's your ride today. You should
That's right.
chill.
Yeah.
Easy calling him a dung beetle, Dave. He's your ride to the G of the R.
That's a fancy setup.
Isn't that nice? It's our twisty pipe there.
Yeah.
They're kind of cheap too. They're only like $12, so you can afford to throw them away. Candy pipes would be a good thing, so you can eat them. You know, when I used to work at
that's a
Subway,
good idea.
Dave, I thought of it when I worked at Subway. Listen to this. I'd take the fucking apple wedge, stab a straw down long ways through it, cut a little bowl. I mean, everyone's made an apple bowl, but I made an apple bowl out of them little shitty wedges, because at Subway, they don't just give you the apple in its natural packaging. They chop it up and put it in a plastic bag to make sure you know that they care about you enough to destroy the earth.
Nature 2.0.
Yeah. Working at Subway is fucking horrible. I have a whole bunch. I could sit here and bitch all day about how stupid people are. You learn truly how dumb humanity is working at Subway. People come in there that get the same fucking thing all the time, and you know what they're going to get, but out of the fucking rules of Peter's Principle or Robert's Rules of Order or whatever the fuck it is, you got to ask them what they want, and they're always like, you know what they want. I know what you want. I know you want the urban cheese bread. You've got it a million times, fat boy. You want double tuna, shit ton of jalapenos. Don't get the tuna at Subway. Listeners, Matt Zarelli, just join us. Everyone, listen, don't get the tuna at
Steer
Subway.
Clear.
It's immortal. It's immortal tuna. It's the Highlander. Fucking, they should call it the Highlander tuna sub, because the motherfucker is just like never ending. They just add tuna to the top of the old tuna.
Zombie tuna.
Yep, the tuna is so old in there. There's carbon datable tuna to super old in there probably. It's a shitty way of doing it.
Any service industry gig makes you see the
It's not
Deadness.
Subway
Yeah,
standards,
yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
it makes you
Subway.
see the deadness.
Have you ever
Doing-
filled out the temperature chart where you just fucking look at the one right before it and add a degree or two? If you've ever been in the food service
all
industry,
day?
there's
At
always
Starbucks.
33.2 yesterday. It just happened to be 33.3 today. That like adds that degree of believability, I think.
Everybody should have to have at least 6 months in the service industry.
Oh
That's
God.
weird.
And doing comedy makes you see the deadness of people.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, they just that they're not there. They're there to drink and not really laugh. People don't like to enjoy stuff. My daughter just got a boyfriend. I love this motherfucker. She don't listen to this, so I'm safe saying this, but I love this dude. If she knew I loved him, she'd be like, I'm breaking up with this nigga. But no, I love this dude because he fucking likes to like shit, Dave. Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
That's what I like about him, is
Yeah.
that he likes to like shit.
He's open to shit.
Yeah, he likes to, like, it's cool to see people like he's not he's not like, hey, you want to try sucking my dick? He's like, hey, I've never tried. It's nothing like that. But he does like to like stuff. He doesn't take it too far, but he's like the perfect amount of liking to like shit.
Well, that's the challenge, man. We talk about it all the time as crowds that don't even listen. Like, that's the hardest thing. You would think as a stand-up, the hard thing would be people that heckle, but it's not, man. It's people that don't listen.
Yeah, people
They're
aren't even,
open to
they're
it.
not even in tune enough with the act to heckle them. They're not even
or they
picking
listen
on
enough
you.
to be like, oh, that's offensive.
Yeah,
Like,
people love to be recreationally outraged. That's what I call
dude,
it.
it's a whole thing. It's a whole, yeah, that's wild. It's a whole
Recreationally
movement,
outraged.
man. Yeah. The politically correct movement.
Politically correct. Dave is not amongst them, and neither am I, are we, Dave?
That's why comedy's important.
Comedy is stupid. People get offended about the stupidest shit, that's for sure. They definitely... Comedy is a super funny thing. The rape thing has been big in comedy lately. They've been fucking bitching about people making jokes about rape. Have you been hearing a lot about that? And it's like, of course they're making jokes. You joke about the worst shit. It's just how it is. 9/11 jokes, rape jokes, all that.
The only rule is it's got to be funny.
That's
it. As long as it's funny, you can pretty much talk about it. I mean, Bill Burr's got a great riff on that about how you can't be selectively offended, man. You gotta, you can't be offended at just the stuff that touches you.
Yeah, you should be just offended all the if you're that offendable. It does make sense.
You can joke about whatever you want on stage as long as you can justify it with laughter.
Yeah,
as long as it's funny, man.
As long as you're funny and you're not overly offensive.
People get really gung-ho.
As long as you're more funny than offensive, that's all you need to do. But that's the hard part, because sometimes
I never even tried, to be honest, because I don't care.
Because sometimes you do have the funny, but it's the room, they hear a word,
rape.
Listen, I know
abortion.
Nigga, I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I'm instantly gonna shut down and be offended.
Nigga, I know where you're coming from. But yeah, in Texas, they say it's not bragging if you can do it, basically. So I mean, if it is making people laugh, it is comedy. Then even if it's fucking horrible.
That's what's important.
Sometimes you're just not down with the clown. You don't get the joke. ICP, dumb as fuck. Still, right now, people are starting to get it. There's clowns all over the fucking place. People dressing up like clowns, Dave.
Getting murdered.
That's crazy.
Getting murdered. But now, see, what happens is it started off as some dumb shit people were getting carried away talking about, and now motherfuckers are mimicking it, and there actually is more clowns now, and now people are being clowns, and there's all kinds of clowning around. Speaking of clowns, we have got to, I got to look at my little, we get sidetracked because we have company, and it makes this thing more fun, but let me bring our company into what we were going to talk about, because these dirty motherfuckers have 44, clowns made me think of this, 44 right now, Afghani troops that we brought over here to train have went AWOL and are out just being Mexicans, being wetbacks like Donald Trump's always bitching about, and we're not even trying to round them up. What the fuck is Donald Trump bitching about Mexicans sneaking in for? He wants to build a wall? Motherfucker, we're bringing them right in, we're importing them.
We are training our quote-unquote enemy.
Exactly. We're training these Afghan troops, and then they abscond, and then in the story they're like, well, they probably just went for some jobs and some pussy or whatever, and it's like, bullshit. They're probably fucking sneaky-ass fucking ISIS motherfuckers trying to cut people's heads off.
That or it's people who just think this war is absolutely bullshit and don't want to
But they came over here from Afghan to train to go back and protect their country, and then just absconded over here. They're like, fuck America.
Wouldn't that be the perfect
Well, America's
thing?
way better. Look at what they're looking at. They're looking at
that or just run across the border to Canada.
You could live off the fucking dollar menu in America compared to that shit over there.
They have better
bombed out ass buildings and all that crap. You don't want to live over there. You could live over here with fucking dollar menu. You'd live way better. It's way, way better.
That's a good point, man.
But isn't that crazy? The fucking, all them Afghani troops just
but
absconded.
up in Canada, they're not going to fucking beat you up just because your skin's brown.
That's right.
Are you sure they won't?
I mean, it's definitely, I'd say it's not as likely, you know?
So what you're saying is racism might still be kind of cool there.
I'd say it hasn't caught on as much
because I mean,
in
you're still
Canada as it has here.
You're the only.
That's what I'd say.
Yeah, when you're the only one, it's cool. It's more cool. I'm not saying racism is cool.
As it is in America.
But when everyone's doing it, it's not as cool.
Yeah.
You know, like everyone's fucking with Donald Trump right now. It's not cool to be a racist right now. There's too many of them. Everyone's out of the woodwork.
It's like when punk rock goes mainstream. It's not as fun anymore.
Exactly. It's not fun to be a racist right now because everyone's just out of the closet. Like, yeah, fuck them Mexicans. It's just, it's a crazy time, isn't it?
It is a weird time,
but
man.
These fucking Afghani troops, they're just, you know what they remind me of is the Zika virus. It's because the Zika virus, we went down to Rio, and the shit snuck right back in. We brought it right in ourselves. Goddamn Afghani troops were porting them and just letting them run off the base. And we're worried about building a fucking wall from Mexicans.
That's a real story, though. That's the thing about, like, this McDonald'sization about this whole wall and all that nonsense. But that's the real shit that's going on. Like, it's so oversimplified. Like, we're just gonna build a wall.
Oh, and we're arguing. And we keep arguing. I watch the debate. We just want to talk about their taxes and their titties and their dicks and their emails. That's what we want to talk about. And then it makes it so that we don't pay attention to these stories like the fucking Afghani troops smuggled in. Like,
it's a sideshow, man.
Like, I feel like there's gonna be people listening to this little homegrown ass podcast that I'm gonna put on YouTube and get fucking 7 views, there's gonna be like 3 or 4 of these motherfuckers watching it that go, I didn't hear about those Afghani troops, and they're gonna look it up. Exactly, and you'll look it up. Look it up when you leave.
Yep.
It's not only just 44 Afghan troops. You got to read the story. It's kind of confusing.
When you say 44, you mean 44 people.
There's 44 people, but there was also
collectively,
44 troops left the base. Troops. That's like thousands of people without permission.
Like 2,200 people.
Yeah, without permission, we're like absconding from the base and coming back. So like going out to party and shit, basically.
But don't get your shotguns and start searching the woods like only 50 people have like escaped. That's like 44 people.
Yeah, but they're not, and they said in the article, this was big, they said in the article that they didn't think they were of a threat to the country or some shit, and it's like, what? You don't know that until they go shoot up a gay club in Florida, you don't know.
Yeah, or they persuade somebody to do it or whatever.
Exactly.
Yeah, or go to
One of the things I always try to tell people about that aren't very smart to the Islamic thing is right now, we homebrew them too. Our prisons are full of that shit. And they encourage that because of the freedom religion tip. And, like, you got to keep that, but the prisons are just full of, like, Islam right now. And the message rings so loud in there to the black male, but also to the white guy. It's both motherfuckers in there. That message of fuck America and all that, it rings to the criminal in there, especially if he's sitting in there for, like, weed, and he's watching the motherfucker on TV smoke weed and get likes on Instagram for it, but he's sitting in jail for it. That Islamic fuck America and fuck this crooked shit message really appeals to that motherfucker. So
it's the same strategy Trump's doing, man. You go after the marginalized, you go after the ones that are,
well, everyone's feeling marginalized, especially because marginalized is what's cool now.
Yep.
It's what's cool.
Yeah, it's wild.
Ooh.
You like that hash, don't you? That's cold water hash right there.
That's some jelly bean
For our
hash.
listeners to hear, if you're a hash user or a marijuana user, quit smoking the goddamn wax. That shit is made with butane and shit. I mean, it's alright, I dab once in a while, but cut back on the wax. And start asking your growers and your producers for some cold water hash. That's good old-fashioned hippie hash. You make it with distilled water and ice. Like, sharpening you up, listeners. Get that cold water hash, man. It'll keep you alive.
Well, there is a lot of, like, solventless extracts.
There is starting to be more solventless.
Like people take essentially the giant hair straightener
and smash
2 hot plates and get all the rosin
The
out.
rosin.
Yeah.
The rosin method.
I seen some shit the other day. It was clear.
Do you think the devil rosined up his bow with some fucking weed?
Probably.
Rosin up your motherfucking bow with some weed rosin.
I did request when I went to the grow yesterday to work. I did request
to listen to that song while you were working.
No, I was. My buddy, he's like, hey, you're going to be working with all women. I'm like, great, be working with women in a field of growing women, you know. But
marijuana is female when it's a budding plant, listeners, if you didn't know.
I requested my friend, I said, hey, can you just, like, have someone just, like, stay naked? And, like,
you should have.
At the end of the day, we can just get together and just,
You should have brought that up.
Stick together.
Should have said, I feel like there's a real shoplifting potential here. There's a real potential for abuse, and we should all work naked, just to. Just like a hardcore drug house, just to make sure we're not stealing this guy's buds.
Yep.
Dave could still get a couple out though. You got a couple hiding spots. There's some funny shit, Dave. I
got a lot of rolls.
I go over to my friend's house a couple days ago. His motherfucking stepdad's laying on the couch because he lives with his parents. Of course, all my friends do, just like me. This is the new hip thing. Anyhow, I go over to his house. He's laying on his couch. His stepdad is. I can't see his clothes. He's got shorts on, but he's so fat that like his whole body is hiding his fucking shorts.
Encompasses
his So technically,
clothing.
You're fucking naked, right? To me, technically, if you can't see the item of clothing, you're naked. If all I see when I look at your fucking body is flesh, it doesn't have to be a penis or a nipple, although there was 2 nipples, you're naked to me. That's naked. Naked.
Technically, you are technically naked.
The FCC would let this motherfucker on TV with no clothes. This is how fat he was. He could come on TV with no clothes at all.
You've reached a threshold of that.
Isn't that some fatness there?
Yeah.
I always wonder what they do with their junk up under there. Dave ain't that fat. I'm getting carried. Dave has a couple pounds over, and I'm going to like cut you out of your trailer fat.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need to be transported on a flatbed truck.
But you do have that S10 to take him down. F-150, he's taking him down. Yeah, Dave said he's going in a big old truck down there.
Big old Biggin.
Big truck. Are you going to be listening to inspirational moving songs? Going.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah,
All,
you should.
Olivia Newton-John and fucking.
What's that? Yeah, just them
Elton John.
different. Just get you pumped up, man. I'm moving to my new life. My
It's a
new
big
life.
day.
You know, I was just thinking about Richard Simmons because we were talking about fat people losing tons of weight. You know, he's starting to do that fucking that tranny thing too. He's starting to be like what's her face, Caitlyn.
Oh, really?
Yep, old Richard Simmons. Dick Simmons is starting to come.
Yeah,
Well, we
I
already
guess
knew
that
he.
makes sense.
He
We
always
knew-
acted
we
gay
knew
as
he felt
hell,
that
and he
way.
didn't really hide it. We knew he was gay.
Good for old Richie.
But now he's actually starting to dress like
He
one.
can fucking finally be the guy he wants to be.
Why do so many
Or the
old
gal
white?
wants to
It's
be.
old white guys. They want to
He
be
wants-
women. They're disgusting.
I don't know. It's very strange, right?
Fucking ugly as shit at that point. You want to be an ugly old woman? What the fuck? Or maybe they start thinking, oh, some makeup could tone this up a little, and guys aren't allowed to wear it. Maybe if we just made it socially acceptable for dudes to wear cover-up, there'd be less trannies. There wouldn't even be a thing.
You know, like, we just need to embrace, you know, all the religious people. I seen an anti-abortion.
I tried to wear cover-up to high school real quick. I did. One time I had the worst zit, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to try it. Put a fucking tiniest fucking bit of cover-up. On the bus, it's dark. It's Michigan mornings. You know the bus is
Oh,
dark.
yeah,
You got to
man.
catch the fucker 3 hours before school or something. Live in BF Egypt. It's dark. I get on the goddamn bus, Dave. These bitches still see that I got cover-up within moments. That's
Oh,
how
they know
brutal high
what's up.
school is.
Yeah.
High school is a fuck place. What were you going to tell me, though? I cut you off to tell you about that.
Sunday. Did any of you see that anti-abortion protest?
Hell no, I
Oh,
didn't.
in Travers?
Oh, and
Yeah.
Travers, you kind of
I
you
didn't see
touched
it.
on it. I didn't know
Did
they
I
had
talk
one.
about it on the last episode?
Yeah, you just kind of said that you had cussed out a guy and told him that he should check himself before he wrecks himself
Yeah. So anyways,
because his daughter
we
had
were,
some big dicks in her life and something like that. You had
Something
gotten pretty
like that.
vulgar with the guy.
yeah.
Dave will get into it.
Dave was
Uh,
mad at that. Dude.
But we
He had
so
inappropriate
we were
shorts, is
driving
what Dave
into
told me.
we were driving into Traverse City, driving along the Parkway, and we get to Union Street, and there are anti-abortion protesters, you know, holding up signs like "Adoption is the loving option," shit like that, you know.
Shove her down the stairs like we used to in the 50s.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
it be an accident.
But we're driving down the road, and the protesters, they just don't stop. They don't stop. If anyone knows, like, Traverse City, it stretched from Union Street along Grandview Parkway, where Grandview turns into Munson,
Holy shit.
and it went to Fair Street. So that's like a 3.5 mile stretch of road.
And it was pretty full of peoples. How many people
Oh,
would you
yeah.
estimate? A number, a head count. What do you think for heads?
A couple hundred.
A couple
Was
hundred
there a
people.
culminating event for this, or was it just a planned thing, like around the debates or something? Or what?
You know,
Just
it.
politics in general?
Politics, you know, I mean, like
I'm pretty
what
sure
we were
what-
saying earlier.
No, I
some
heard
of
what
the-
set it off. I'm pretty sure a cop shot a black fetus. That's what happened.
Yeah.
Up in the UP,
Just
a cop,
the fetus.
cop shot a black fetus.
Step out of the womb, please, sir.
Black fetuses matter. But black feet, I'm sorry, black listeners, sometimes your black feet. Oh, I was in prison with a bunch of black guys, Dave, and once in a while, black toes, when they're next to you in the stall, shaking, because they're, you know, that's when you're pooping and the leg next to you is shaking, you know what's happening. It ruins the poop, Dave. I know that's pretty disgusting what I'm telling you, but I've seen some gross black toes is what I'm getting at. I've seen some gross white toes. I got some pretty gross toes myself. Gross white toes, but I guess every ethnicity has its own special gross feet in a way, doesn't it, Dave? You ever seen some Asian feet?
Just feet are gross.
Yeah, a lot of feet are gross. Some tied up ass Asian feet. Yeah, it was almost kind of, now that I'm thinking about every ethnicity's feet, not just one, they're all gross, Dave.
Yeah.
We're across the
But
board.
the anti-abortion protest, like 3.5 miles of just endless shit, and there was like a father there, you know, like a religious.
Oh, like a priest father?
Yeah, like a-
Oh, like
White
a...
collar guy?
Well, I mean, he had a white collar
White collar?
on, but he was wearing his priest robe,
Smock?
his dress,
Yeah.
and
Jesus
like
suit.
yeah, his Jesus.
Those
his
have
Jesus
big old
get up.
pockets full of like
Yep.
Smarties and shit. It's like, get you a piece of candy
so
out of
that
there,
way
boy.
they can give them to the kids before they
It's
diddle.
a cutout pocket. It's a cutout pocket. They can just reach in. There's no pocket in there. Priest no pockets.
But
was
you know,
there.
like priest wears dress. Why can't everyone else wear a dress? Why does
That's a good
priest?
point.
Priest
you know.
and judge wear dress.
Yeah, priest and judge wear dresses.
And Mel
Yep.
Gibson,
And Mel Gibson wears dresses?
he wore
How could you
that
tell one of
kilty
those
dress.
Highland Irish motherfuckers wearing a kilt they can't wear a dress?
Yeah.
Like, that's a different story.
I'm pretty sure they free swing their junk when
Those
they wear
caber
those too.
tossing guys?
Side note: fuck all the people in America who just like show up on a Saturday night, fuckers wearing a kilt. You're not exciting. Shut the fuck up.
My sister
I
dated.
don't care if you're wearing underwear or not. No one cares. There's probably like 2 weird ginger girls who get a hard on for that.
Those dudes that do that, they get off into that, my family is this or that. They're trying to like find an
My heritage,
identity.
oh.
Yeah, they try to find an identity. My sister dated this weirdo that he had a kilt and he had it specially made with certain colors and shit. He spent like fucking $600 or $700 to get this thing custom made and sent to him. Not even kidding. And the guy was an idiot. You know what he did? This is some funny shit.
Ripped it?
No, he went to UTI, the motorcycle thing.
Yeah.
And he failed it like 3 times. They kept kicking him out. Isn't that sad in a way? He was just retarded as fuck, though. He really was. And not like the retarded you shouldn't call retarded. The retarded you should call retarded.
But he had a nice heritage dress.
He knew his heritage and he had a special schmuck made for it. He was such a loser.
Or heritage skirt.
Oh my God, I hated that guy. I know my sister probably don't listen to this either, but if you do, Aaron, you know who I'm talking about. And Steve, you know what? This motherfucker, and he actually told me this. Like, there's things I've gotten in trouble for you guys are never going to hear about. There's things I've gotten caught doing.
Sure.
You might hear about because sometimes I TMI. But this motherfucker took TMI to a next level, Calvin. Listen what he did. He tells us that he once was accused of breastfeeding his child. Like letting his infant suck his nipple is what he was accused of once. Now, I can understand...
Because it just works.
Right. He defends himself and says, you know what, this didn't happen. And I was just laying there with a shirtless baby. You know, I wanted skin-to-skin contact with my baby, and I get it. Like, I don't have any babies, but I get it. I have kittens. I love that skin-to-skin with my hairless kitten. It feels good. You can feel their little heartbeat. They can feel yours. I get it. So I can see the misconception. But why the fuck would you ever tell anyone in life that you had been accused of the nipple feeding? Like, that shit was years and years ago. It wasn't in the papers. No likelihood of me bumping into the story. Why would you ever bring it up again? That is the darkest moment of your whole fucking life.
WTMI.
That is way. Like, I would be so ashamed to bring it up. He talked about it like it was just coffee table shit to banter on about. Weird dude.
Yeah.
Yep, it shows you that those heritage motherfuckers are weird. The ones that are the weirdest to me are the frosty white ones that claim to be Indians.
Yeah.
Those ones are crazy. I've had a couple of them guys in my life.
Like Josh Paul.
Yeah, they'll have the thick beard, you know, and it's like, hey, dude, newsflash, Indians didn't grow facial hair, motherfucker. You know, but just, you know who I'm talking about. There's lots of them.
I do know that there are white people.
Your
who,
dream catcher is your tidy whities,
you know,
motherfucker.
Indian person has sex with a white person.
Yeah,
Kid
yeah.
comes out looking white, but he's an Indian.
Yeah, there's plenty. My wife has got Indian in her. She's white.
Everyone has Cherokee in them. Everyone's fucking Indian.
My wife has a little loser in her once in a while. A couple times a
Who
month.
doesn't? Who doesn't?
A couple times an eve.
No, I didn't watch any of the vice president debate, but I
Me
did
neither.
see it.
I didn't get any credit.
I did see it like it was in the Grow.
I'm not
I
a
was
credit
in.
whore. I'm not a credit whore, but I did get no credit the minute I seen that fucking loser, schneidi little VP for Hillary Clinton. What's his name? Kane.
Yeah.
Tim.
I instantly
Like-
was like, you're a mean one,
Yeah.
Mr. Grinch. Because he's a Mr. Grinch looking dude. Today, billion of memes with him next to Mr. Grinch. It's like, man, I wish I knew computer crap. I could have a meme and I could have 50 to 100 likes on it. Maybe.
You could have a meme and it would have been.
Nah, I don't.
stole
I don't
from-
thrive off
You
likes.
could,
I don't
you
even
could
care.
upload,
I'm just kidding, of course.
You could upload a hilarious, funny meme you've worked, you know, wrote this comedy thing you thought was funny. You say, hey, internet, here's this thing I
And
made.
someone already
And then
did
they
it.
share it 17,000 times over. The fat Jew puts it on his
Hey,
Instagram,
right.
Go to-
steals your credit, takes your 50 cents you'd get for advertisements.
Oh
or
God, I'm gonna put
whatever.
my meme out there. Listen, go to my State Raised One on Instagram, and you can follow me on Instagram. It's State Raised One. That's my Instagram name. Follow me, I'll follow you back. Whatever, blase split. But on there, I made my own meme. I haven't seen it yet. I'm gonna tell you what it is verbally because it's fucking hilarious. But I found a picture of a fat old black guy looking at Kanye West and holding 4 fingers up, and it was right around the time that chick had accused him of putting the fingers in his booty. And so in the meme, I said, you know, Kanye, one more finger and it's considered fisting. Fucking hilarious meme, right, Dave? I don't think anyone's seen it. Like, it's only on my Instagram. So help me get my meme out there. I want to see more people re-memeing it. I'm going to put the meme picture up. I'm going to put my meme as the face picture of this episode, too.
You gotta fucking re-upload that. And,
I
like,
fucking meme it.
No, you gotta fucking re-upload that. You gotta like watermark it. You gotta like add
Yeah,
your
man.
add some shit to
Watermark it, like my
There's
my
comedians
hole
out
in the
there
wall
that
mark.
love that shit.
No, I'm
Yeah,
just-
yeah. No, but you
Beat off on it like a
that's what I'm
monkey.
saying
Yeah.
is you put your shit out there, and unless you like have some way to
Yep.
like attribute it back to yourself, someone else will just fucking
There's
just
some
re-upload
I'm not gonna
it.
get no
Yeah.
money for that shit anyhow. I only want people to enjoy their lives and laugh at Kanye because he's a
Well,
bitch.
there's some comedians out there that's like the way they write their fucking jokes is they just get on there.
Just write me. Oh, just look at memes
Steal
and
memes,
re-steeple
yeah.
memes. I could see that. People are so phony. I was telling Dave just
No,
on
you're
like the
not.
last Man Sharpens Man or the one before it that I went to I spent a lot of my life in prison. That's kind of
Sure.
part of this show is I spent a huge I went from fucking middle school essentially. I was fucking just turned 17
Yeah.
and I found myself in a maximum security prison. Then I got out when I was 30.
Yeah.
That's pretty much my life story and now I'm here still kind of shell shocked.
Sure.
But blah blah blah. What the fuck was? Oh, I was talking about comedy. So I go to my first comedy show not too long ago, and I'm thinking, hell yeah, I love comedy. I don't watch a lot of it. I've been kind of, get good cable in there, so
Right.
I haven't seen a lot of shit, but I do love comedy. I love to laugh. I go to a comedy show, so sad to realize that comedians, like, write their jokes. Like, it's common. What I'm
Yeah.
saying, everyone's like, I knew that when I was 10, you dumb fuck. But I didn't even realize that. I thought people were just like rap, like free lip rap,
Some
you
guys
know?
are.
Because why? Like, it's funnier to me if a
Some guys
motherfucker
can
would
riff.
just. I like to believe. I know it's suspension of the belief, but I
Yeah.
like to believe that they're just up there talking about their day in a way.
Some guys can do that.
But a lot of times it's 10-year-old shit. They're talking.
Yeah.
They're like, "Hey, you know what happened to me today?"
A routine.
And it's a joke
Yeah.
about what happened to him actually 10 years ago on today.
Dave Basie can riff with the best of them. He's a riffer.
Is that what it's
Crowd-
called? What does
crowd
riff
work?
He
mean?
can crowd
Crowd
work.
work?
Just in the
Is that what a
moment
riff
stuff.
is called? Is where you just write stuff
Yeah.
at the moment's notice
Yeah.
instead of having a
Like
routine?
my show's about 90-10. It's like 90% written.
But then I was talking to him about it. There was I want to clarify the story. There was my initial disappointment at that,
Yeah.
but then there was my realization, behind that when I really started to internalize it, was that needs to happen.
Sure.
Or else the shit just won't be funny.
Sure.
Because it isn't, spontaneous shit isn't always funny, and you have to work on it, or you accidentally call your mother-in-law a bitch when you shouldn't or something. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of reasons to work on it, because
Yeah.
I know I say the wrong fucking thing all the
Sure,
time.
sure.
So there's reasons for that, and there's just reasons because you can hone it up. So, like, I get it. It took a while, but there was just that initial disappointment. Like,
I
when
can
I
see
first
that.
found out Man vs. Wild was fake, I was like,
Yeah.
oh. But then I was like, well, I would hate to watch him die,
Yeah,
really. It
so
would
you
be
gotta
a
get mauled
horror.
by a bear.
Yeah, when Steve Irwin died, I was sad for a long time. It's
Although I'd probably tune in for that.
super sad. I would tune in for the death episode. Yeah, it was.
Oh, shit,
You
yeah.
know how many times I've looked for the video of him getting stabbed by
I
the
tell you
fucking
what,
fish?
man,
I
that's-
looked and looked and looked for it. I couldn't find it.
As a side note, if you
You
want to
won't
freak
find
yourself
it.
out,
It's not
the
You can't find it.
The bulls in Pamplona, or the bullfighters in Spain, they do live video of all of those, and there's crazy videos online.
Of people getting marred.
Yeah, dude, getting flipped in the air. And
I
shit.
always
It's
look for that shit, even though I
insane.
don't want to see it. Isn't that weird?
It's weird, but
You
they,
want to
like,
see it, then you
yeah.
don't. You shy away. It's
It
like the
is.
people's reaction videos always are like, I don't want to see
Dude,
it.
there's a guy over there that got caught. They should have a video of him getting gored through the face. He's still alive. He didn't die.
Oh.
Still alive. He's fine. He's fine. But he got good. Well, a little less than fine.
Yeah.
Gored through the face and lost an eyeball, man.
He's
It's-
fine.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's so
He's got an eye
fine.
patch now. They call him like the pirate now because he
Yeah.
lost his eye, dude. That shit is
Pepe the
trippy.
pirate.
Yeah, like he's but he's famous in Spain. Dude.
Hell
That's
yeah.
what they love over there. Kind of like how we like UFC. There's probably people that are like, holy shit.
I don't give a shit.
If he came
about
now, you know what he should do.
UFC.
Now that he got stabbed by, if I ever got stabbed by a bull, I would date a gypsy woman.
Hell yeah.
Because then you'd be gorged and you'd be a gorger. That'd be fucking sweet.
You'd have to get a one-eyed gypsy woman.
One-eyed gypsy woman
Like-
and be her gorger.
He'd
Gypsy
have to
woman.
have left eye. She'd have to have right eye. You know.
Yeah, you can make a
You're a
stereotype.
set. You're a set of
You're
eyes
a
together.
stereo
Yeah,
package.
then you
Yeah.
get a set of eyes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bullfighting.
We've brought up some one-eyed shit on this episode a few times, and I know for a fact that we have at least one-eyed listener, maybe more. But we love you, one-eyed guys.
That's right, we do.
Just one-eyed stuff comes up because it happens a lot. That's why God gave us two, is so you can lose one.
It's a trip, man.
And all of
right?
our one-eyed listeners, I'm sorry every time someone's saying one-eyed, one-arm, flying purple people eater to you. I'm sure they've probably teased you with, I'd imagine. I don't know. I've never.
If you have one arm, you probably get it more. You know, I knew a one-legged guy in the joint named Hubble. This dude was fucking cold-blooded. He could jump with his one leg and kick you with his one leg and land back down. He would do squats with his one leg. Like,
I
he
knew
could
it-
just put, like,
He was a one-legged man.
yeah, he
in the
could put, like,
ass kicking contest.
315 on this bitch. That's, like, 3 plates and do one-legged squats. He was kind of cockeyed and shit, and he didn't hit the bucket or nothing, you know. You ain't going in the bucket, dog. That's how you get when you're in the weight pit. You always judge people's shit. You're like, hey, you bounce that off your chest a little bit. You become a real snob. Like, being a certain kind of snob always sneaks up on you. I've been a
Everything's
weed
like that,
snob
bro.
in my life. I've been a
Everything's
weight
got
pit
that.
snob. I've gotten
Music
snobby
snob.
about stuff. I always catch myself, though, and be like, come on. I check myself before I wreck myself. I do.
Talking about the debate again, going back to that.
You know, if
like,
a bunch of people argue, it'd be called a mass debate.
Master
All right, now go back to the debate and tell me what you're thinking
like I
now.
said, it was playing in the background of the grow I was working at. Like, not in the grow, but like in the dude's house, you know.
Isn't it ironic?
Yeah, it is ironic, but it was weird because, like, I didn't hear any of it, but it was Tim Kaine and Mike Pence sitting at a table at, like, rolly office chairs, and who was it? Herman Cain? I think that's who they had moderate it. Fuck that hunk of shit person. But yeah, it was weird because they were sitting at a table talking. And if you looked at the Hillary Trump shit show, you know, like they had their own stage, and you know it was like an episode of the Voice, you know, fucking the guy sitting back there giving you the X. You know, you get 3 X's, you get voted off the show. You
Or
know,
waiting for someone to
America
slap their
doesn't
little
want
button
you
and
today.
turn their chair around and
But
look
they
at
were
you.
standing up, so that means that whenever whatever shit show of a person wins, you know, it's just gonna be them standing up, directing the end of the world, and whoever the VP is, they'll just be like, I'm just watching this crash into the ground.
I like
on
that Pence
fire.
guy a little bit, and I don't like Kane, I have to say. But I don't. You can't make your choice
You like
based on...
Mike Pence? Fuck Mike Pence. I'm from Indiana.
Do you like
It
Kane
makes
better?
me. I don't like either of them.
That's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I'm from Indiana, and I hate the fact that I'm from Indiana.
I know, but which one would you bang is what's important.
Which old white man would I fuck?
For money. If they were rich and you were trying to get into that gold digger job.
I don't think I have a dick that has the rapport that is good enough to get paid. For
They might only be,
fucking.
you might be lucky and they're only into butt stuff.
You're-
I don't know if that's lucky.
Well,
I'm so lucky
maybe.
they only like to stick
Well, you know what would be
Luck is
best?
relative.
What would be
Yeah.
best if one of them wasn't circumcised and I could dock with them? That would be the
Oh,
thing.
dockety dock. You know what sunny side up is?
Yes.
That's gross, isn't it? Sunny side up is where you bang a dude facing up, so you gotta look him in the eye.
Oh my god.
That's the true
Oh.
gay test right
So
there.
you just like lift his legs up.
You thought I was talking about gay. No, I'm talking about like gay missionary style sex. That's called sunny side up in their community because the sunny side is up.
Mhm.
That's pretty gross. It's pretty gross. To me, not to gay people. To gay people, I think that's probably not gross. I shouldn't say it's horrible. There's
Yeah, it's hot.
our one gay listener is tuning out. And 2 people that tried something at camp. They're tuning out right now. Not listen to this motherfucker no more. He's intolerant to gays. No, I'm not. I just like to talk about gay jokes. In prison, that's called slipping. And we did a fair amount of it. We did it every day. It was super fun. It's the only way you got to pass time. You blaze each other. You
Little
make gay
kiss
jokes.
here, little butt slap there.
The only way people don't know you're gay is if
Next
you
thing,
constantly
gargling
berate and hate
mayonnaise.
gays. That's how it works, right? If you don't, that's how it works, Dave? No, I'm just kidding. They know you're not gay if you just don't have if you have a wife. Jeff Gordon has a wife. Everyone knows he's not gay. No, that's not how it works either. It just doesn't really matter is the biggest point. They just have made it matter today,
Yeah.
Dave.
Just fuck who you want to fuck.
Right? Do what you want to do.
It is
man.
weird.
As
It shouldn't
long
just
as-
be. I think they
Yeah.
should kind of bring the marriage thing back. That's why I'm a proponent of gay marriage, because I don't think that gays should get some kind of fucking exclusive right just to be dogs and go bang around and have all the fun. Like, they should be equal shit right across the board. You guys need to get relationships. Relationship is a good thing. Like,
Right.
being married is a good thing ultimately. You know, I could make a lot of jokes. There's funny stuff about how it's not a good thing, but ultimately, truly, it's a great thing to team up with one person and have the same kind of focus. You ever notice that gay couples are fucking rich as hell? Always.
Yeah.
It's a 2 male income, baby. That's why. 2 dudes. They say it's an unfair thing, but if you're a gay guy, then you get the male income still, and then you get 2 of those, bam, double gay. They rich.
At the abortion protest.
It's not just because they're smart.
I said that already in the last episode.
Was there
I think.
gay guys there?
I mean, yes.
If you're a that's ironic
yes,
as fuck
there was.
if you're
Yes,
gay
there was.
and have a strong opinion
That's
on abortion.
confusing.
Yeah.
Yes, there
Sir,
was
I am
gay people
confused.
there because there's those religious people, they repress shit.
Yeah,
you know?
fuck yeah.
It's like if you are taking a dump in the morning after sex,
Yeah.
It was wrong. It's wrong. You hold that in until it creates an infection. You remember the sex we had.
Yeah.
It's like a child almost. It makes a mark on your life. I want you to have scars from your anal warts. Let me tell you, we're going to wrap this up, Dave. We're almost at an hour. It's the longest Man Sharpens Man's because we had awesome visitors. I want to tell you a funny story about anal warts, and we'll wrap this up. This is a great story about anal warts. Ted Johnston, my homie, you told me, listen, now I'm getting you right now, bitch, because this is going to more people than it did before. All right, listen, Ted Johnston was my little short homie in prison. He looked like the little Caesars dude. He knew better than to be my friend because I always fucking blazed him. But he must have loved it. He was like sadistic or... What is the one where you like to be hit?
Masochistic?
He was masochistic. Masochistic Ted, this motherfucker, because I'd always just blaze his ass. Well, he comes to me one day in all seriousness because he knows my mom's a nurse, right? And he says, he doesn't say state raised, of course, because I haven't been raised yet. I was still just little Johnny. He comes to me and says, LJ. That's what they call me, LJ. He says, LJ, what the fuck, man? He's like, I got to ask you something, man. He's like, but don't tease me. Don't tease me. This is serious. He's like, you got to swear. You're not going to tell anyone. You won't tease me. I got to ask you a fucking serious medical question. I know your mom's, you guys already know. He's like, I know your mom's a nurse. He's like, please, just let me ask you this and not tease me. I was like, all right. He's like, don't say nothing gay, but I got blood coming out of my butt. And I'm like, oh my God, Ted, that's fucking serious. You know, and normally I would tease, but I found it very serious. And I was like, I'm not going to tease you, Ted, just like I said I wouldn't. And we'll call my mom right now. So I went stood in fucking line at the payphone, called my mom, who's a nurse. Hey, I kind of already know the answer. Go to the goddamn doctor. Don't get payphone advice in a prison from your mom nurse who takes care of old people at a nursing home. It's the worst way to stay alive. I already know that, but I'm going to appease Ted because it's scary in there. Just so someone caring about you helps a lot. So I go call my mom for him, and she says, well, if he's got blood coming out of his butt, there's really a lot of bad stuff it is, and you're pretty sure he hasn't had butt sex? I was like, Ted he don't get down like that at all. 100% sure. She says, oh, go ahead. It's probably cancer or something bad. Like, I hate to tell you, son, but at his age and stuff, there's a good chance it's cancer or something. I'm like, oh, poor Ted, I'm not going to tell him that. She says, don't tell him that, it'll scare him. I was like, I just thought that. She's like, good. She says, tell him to go to the fucking doctor. I said, I know. So I go back and I tell Ted, look, my mom says it's probably not too bad. It's just, you probably just have, like, too rich of a diet. Like, I make up a lie, I don't remember what it was, but I play it down. So, but it's super important, she said, that you go to the doctor right away. Because any hesitation in time, she made that important to me. Days count when it comes to stuff like this. They can cut off polyps and maybe save your life. So I tell him, days count. Get your colon screening. There you go, Bob. But anyhow, that's a side note. But anyhow, he goes to the doctor. He comes back to me on the yard about 4 or 5 days later because he puts in an emergency kite to go to the doctor. He comes to me, he says, Little John, he says, come here, I got to talk to you, man. He says, you can't tease me, man, like before. He's like, this is still the same thing, so got to keep it under wraps. I was like, I know, man, I'm serious. I haven't told nobody about this. You're my fucking friend. And like normally, I'd have been making so many butt jokes. He tells me, he says, look, dude, I don't know what the fuck, but they said I have anal warts inside of my butt. And I'm like, holy fuck. About 8 seconds pass, and I just start yelling as loud as I can and laughing, hey, my daddy's got anal warts! I knew the people that were around weren't really paying attention. They would just think I was joking anyhow, and that's what I tried to explain to them. I'm like, they're just going to think I'm lying. They don't know you really have anal warts. He was fucking furious. Okay, I get him to calm down. Next day, I'm talking to Teddy. Okay, he's got anal warts, and I'm like, I'm sure this motherfucker's been taking it in the butt, right? Nope. He tells me this, and I've done a little research. I found out he's not lying. But when you're banging, like the juices can just like run down your taint between your balls and kind of get in your butt. And they like to grow there better because it's always warm and moist. And you'll wash the wart juice off your crotch and not get warts there because you promptly take a shower. But a little juice can get in your butt, and it's where it likes to grow. So anal warts are caused by regular vaginal sex with a chick with vagina warts. Some pretty gross shit on Man Sharpens. Man Grossens Man. But isn't that fucking... But I blazed the fuck out of Teddy. And now, Teddy, I'm telling the entire world, in essence, that your motherfucking ass had anal warts, and that shit was too funny for me to hold in. And I don't know why I started telling you guys that story, but I wanted to tell you my funny anal wart story.
Well, I gotta tell my story about poop coming out, or blood coming out of my butthole.
Well, of course, I would not just tell one blood story and not have you follow it up with one. Of course.
So
We just were talking about the debate This is Man Sharpens Man. Of course there's a rebut. Yeah, rebut.
Oh.
Rebut.
So I was 19. It was a 19-year-old version of Dave Basie, and at the time,
So you were obese with a thick beard.
You know, at this time, I
no,
wasn't.
I'm just kidding. I know
wasn't
you weren't.
too. I mean, I was a little chunky.
You were
kind of
hipstery too. I seen your pictures. You look like a
No.
band class kid, kind of.
No, I wasn't hipstery. I was more of a goth kid.
Yeah,
than
gothy
anything.
band kid, I'd say.
I was kind of like a gothy kid, and then like I realized that like shit's expensive and fuck buying stuff, and then I just wore blue jeans all the time.
No, he
after
started washing his flesh
I
like he
used
started
to wear
buying
trip
a new
pants.
one
I used
constantly.
to wear like those really baggy black pants with like chains hanging off them.
There's two kinds of people, Dave.
Trip
People that
pants,
wash
I
their
used to
pocket
wear
pussies
them.
and people that buy new ones.
Well,
And I feel like you are turned into a kind of guy that washes yours now. But anyhow, tell us your poopy butt blood story.
So I was 19. I was working 2 jobs at the time. I was working at a patio furniture store, and I was
You're an
working at
industrious 19-year-old, baby.
I was working at Home Depot at nights, and I don't know if this was near my birthday, so I don't think I was going to school at that time. It was December, so, you know, probably winter break, you know.
Yeah.
But I was going to school at the time as well. But, so anyways, I was just super stressed all the time, and I was noticing that blood was coming out in my poop. And this was rather...
Whoa, that's a young
you know,
age.
as a 19-year-old person, I'm like, oh man, do I have like butt cancer?
If we were on the
something,
yard
you
right
know?
now, I'd be yelling gay butt jokes about you, but we're on
Yeah.
Man Sharpens Man,
But
so I'm
you
going
know,
to let you go
I
on.
was freaking out about it, so went to the doctor.
Not as much as your boyfriend.
They went to the
He's
doctor.
getting that truffle
Doctor
butter.
looked at it. He's like, yeah, man, you're like, you I don't know. Look, just to be safe, let's have you do a colonoscopy.
Yeah, no shit.
Colonoscopy. So
Those are
for-
dangerous, by the way, not to
for
be
my
safe.
20th birthday, cause like my birthday's in December.
Happy birthday,
Damn.
So yep,
Mm.
that's what I did for my birthday.
There's some people that would be jealous of that 2 foot you took on your birthday.
Yeah,
So what they find was wrong with you? You got to finish the story so people don't think you just had
they
trauma
did
to
the
the beehole.
colonoscopy on me, and I asked them for a video of it. I said, you know, if you're doing this, I want to see what I look like. You know,
And then you put it to a Sublime song.
yeah, yep, upload it like that Turn Japanese video.
That'd be a good song to put it to.
Yeah, but anyways,
I think I'm
asked them
turning
for a
the colon
video.
corner.
I asked them for a video. They're like, "Hey, we can't do a video. Like that's not on your insurance premium.
not
We
your budget.
yeah,
Damn,
that's not
really?
in your
It's not the
plan.
production budget.
No,
But we
it's not.
can give you still shots
Oh.
of your rectum,
Oh, nice.
colon.
So
So they have different colon packages you can get?
Sepia tone, like
Yeah.
old timey.
Well, I mean, even if you're rich enough, you know, you can just like swallow like a little robot pill
Oh, nice.
camera,
Really?
you know, and it just goes.
So they have
through you.
multiple colon
Pretty soon
packages
we'll all
to
be
choose
following
from.
robots.
Yeah, but I had the insurance package to where I got the gallon jug of the shit and the powder, and you had to drink.
You had the insurance where they had to gape you out basically and just
yeah,
look in
I
with a
got
flashlight.
fucking cleaned
So
out.
Dave's the poorest colonoscopy plan is you get gaped by a couple of guys and then they look at you with one of them powerful ass flashlights, one of them LED ones.
Yep.
That's
But
the low
anyways,
plan.
colonoscopy happened. They gave me stills of it, so I have pictures of my ass.
Cool. You could turn that into a modern art
In your,
exhibit.
in your
I
wallet.
do.
So what
Yeah,
was wrong with you? Was it
first
just
aid?
stress making you bleed from the inside,
Yeah,
basically?
the doctor just said like, hey,
You weren't
you're
eating enough.
working a shit ton. You're going to
Yeah.
school a shit ton. You're broke as shit.
That's a whole separate pot. Stress is a fucking.
You're
Yeah,
eating like a
it's heavy.
goat.
Yeah.
See, I'm never. That's the
terrible.
thing I'm blessed with. I don't have stress.
Stress will fuck.
I
you
live a
up.
stress-free existence.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
very
good.
transcendental. I
That's
got
good.
in touch with Charles Bukowski when I was young, and I fucking never looked back, baby. I've just been living that beatnik life, man.
That's good, man. Stress a killer.
Stress kills you. All right, Dave, let's wrap this up. You got to get out of town, motherfucker. Your
Yeah.
ride's got to work tonight and stuff or something, right? All right, well, we got a huge crew today for Man Sharpens Man. That's pretty good. You got anything to plug? You're leaving town.
Go check out Rotten Cherry's
Yeah.
comedy open mic on the